Recording. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Bricks and Bits, episode number 18. Today we're joined by Just Too Good.
Yo, what's up?
All right. So
That's it. That's my intro.
Replies.
Yo, what's up?
We have Brickatect, aka Greg.
Yo, what's up?
And RichboyJhae.
What's up, yo?
Oh, twist to it.
So, for those of you that don't know, RichboyJhae makes LEGO videos on the internet, which is a pretty uncommon thing. Very unique among us, I would say.
Yeah, who else does that?
Yeah. He builds really big MOCs, which is easily the coolest part of RichboyJhae's channel.
No, it's the music, man, the rap.
And the rapping. If you guys haven't seen RichboyJhae's raps, they are incredible. RichboyJhae is multifaceted, multi-talented. He also can play piano. Which is, I was amazed at World Chicago, and you just sat down on the piano and started playing your song. I was just like in heaven. I was like, oh my god, this is
Unlike
insane.
me and Dalek Bricks, he could actually rap. I mean,
He could, yes. So Jay,
Don't
what are you
ever
up
see
to?
my
What's
rap
your
battles.
what's your latest project?
Well, I've been I can't divulge too much. You know, I gotta keep the suspense up. But I'll just say this next song is gonna have the streets on fire.
There's another song coming? I didn't know about this.
There is another
Oh,
song.
shoot.
I've been figuring some stuff out. It's gonna be a banger though.
That's incredible. I'm very excited. Do you have a time frame there?
It's hard to say with these types of things. You know, just maybe a few weeks, maybe.
Maybe.
You never know. Like,
Never know.
the creative juices start flowing, and then you hit a wall. So I don't know. It's hard
Fair
to put it on it, but soon enough.
So what about MOCs? What's your latest MOC? What are you working on at the moment?
So I've been working on a big Vardos mock from Star Wars Battlefront 2, and it's going pretty well. I'm kind of hit a point where I'm trying to figure out like what I want to do with the lights. I'm sure any of you who have been to Brick World know about the World of Lights thing, and for me it was just the coolest thing ever. So I want to have my mock prepared for something like that. So I've been looking into different avenues for putting lights into my mock. So it's been quite the interesting venture.
So what would you say is like the most creative use you found for the lights in this particular MOC? This is something I'm not really... Vardos is something I'm completely unfamiliar with, so...
Sure,
you
yeah.
might have to go a little bit more in depth with where around it is.
Yeah, so I would say imagine like it's kind of like an imperial city. Imagine like Coruscant, but maybe a little bit more... Maybe a little bit like more established, less kind of dingy, like a nicer version of Coruscant, like a nice neighborhood in Coruscant,
Right.
essentially. But there's tons of like light posts and spotlights because the Empire essentially like invades this planet, and they like set up barricades and like spotlights, and they have all these ships landing everywhere. So there's gonna be tons of lights everywhere. But the coolest thing that I really would like to do is like there's this big tower that sits on it, and at the very top of it there's a lot of like blinking lights.
Right.
So I want to do some stuff like that, and we'll see how that works out.
Okay, that sounds really cool. I'm looking forward to seeing that one in Chicago next year. It'll be there, right?
Hopefully, we'll see. My mock schedule is kind of messed up, so my goal is to get done with this mock by the end of the year.
Right.
I'm not really sure where I'll end up taking it to, just because Gary and I have another big mock planned. It's supposed to happen at some point next year, but I'm not really sure how this one will coincide with that. So we'll
Fair
see.
enough.
I'll have something at Brickworld though for sure. We'll definitely work that out.
Fair enough. So Greg, how long have you been on YouTube?
Let's see.
When did you make an account?
Going way back. First time I uploaded a video was June 11th, 2011.
Okay. What about
I
you?
think way back there.
What about you, Justin?
Well, here's the thing. When you say YouTube, do you mean LEGO YouTube or just going on videos or
When
my
was
other
the
channels
first video you uploaded?
on LEGO YouTube?
The first video you uploaded, period.
Oh, okay. November 1st, 2008.
Oh.
Wow.
I know,
what
but
was
that's
it
not a channel
about?
nobody talks about.
Were you like 7 that year?
No. Wow, Greg. Screw you. No, I'm kidding. It was like I was not 7. But it was
I was
mashup
9.
video. Okay, the name's kind of stupid. Have you ever heard what a YouTube poop is? It's a mashup of like different cartoons.
Right.
Yes.
I used to make those back in the day on like another channel. I don't talk about it.
Just to poop.
Yeah, no, no. This was before Just Too Good was even created, because Just Too Good was created on Eurobricks, January 13th, 2009. So this was November 1st, 2008. So yeah.
Maybe I'll have
But
to
it was another channel.
do my research. Jay, when did you upload your first video?
Now people ever find the channel.
I uploaded my first video February of 2007.
Okay, so yeah, but okay.
Yeah.
I thought my
Still
statement
beat me.
might have been
By
by a year and a half. He still beat you.
I
That's
know.
crazy.
When you said November of 08, I was like, oh no, maybe I got it wrong, and I was like, oh, all right, he's got. So Jay's been on. Jay is a veteran. I've been on YouTube since like early 2009, but Jay's got us all beat by at least a year, which is pretty insane.
That was back when you could put out a video and like actually have it featured on like the homepage or whatever.
Right.
Back in those days.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
That was the best. Like I remember YouTube at that time, like they would have any cartoon TV show you want to watch, they would have it in 3 parts. It's like amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because
There's
you have
no
the
copyright.
10 or 15.
And they're like,
minute-
man, we're getting sued. We got to sell this to Google.
Yep. That was it. But the pro out of that was, I guess, AdSense and all that stuff. But
Yeah.
So Jay, when you first started uploading, there were a lot of monster trucks going on. What was that about?
Yeah. It is a little known fact about me that I'm actually a big monster truck fan. My family and I go to what is essentially the Super Bowl of monster trucks in Las Vegas. That was like my childhood, honestly. Like, I don't know where it really started, but as long as I can remember, I've been in love with monster trucks. So I found out about this video game and started making videos about that. And that became
I was going to say, sorry to interrupt, but Jay, is it public how old you are? Your age?
Yeah, I'm 23. Yeah,
23. Okay, so let's see. 2007. How old were you then?
I would have been 12.
12.
Yeah.
12. Okay, I see. Wow, holy crud, that's a long way. Holy crud.
Yeah. But there were also some LEGO stop motions mixed in there. I don't know if Greg, you or Justin are on his channel, if you go to his oldest uploads. But there are some stop motions there that are crude, rough. But
yeah.
But for 2007, like, you can't complain.
Yeah, especially if you're 12 years old. Like I say every week, if you can't go back to your old videos and cringe at them, you're doing something wrong. So you got to. Everyone has to start somewhere. And,
especially SpongeBob SquarePants. I get money by 50 cents.
Yeah, that was. I was still trying to find myself at that point. You know, I'd been all these like cartoon rap videos. I was like, I'll try that. No big. We'll see.
If you can make a
Lego
4-second video. If you can make a 4-second video and have it viewed by 2,000 people, you're doing something right.
Right.
Yeah.
So was the name always RichboyJhae on the channel, or?
Yeah, it was always RichboyJhae. The origin behind that was, at the time, my favorite rapper was a guy named Rich Boy, and my name is Jalen, so I just took the first letter of my name and added it on to that. It was really nothing special.
Well, no, it's a great name. So, usually when people start out, they always change their name later on. Like,
right.
But yeah, it's good. I'm glad you didn't put, like, no offense to people who have numbers in their name. You didn't put any numbers in there. It's just RichboyJhae, the one.
Yeah, I always took pride in that. That's kind of like a personal thing too. Like, I don't know how you guys feel about this, but I like being easily identifiable. Mm-hmm. So if I can help it, my username's gonna, outside of YouTube, like my username for any given thing is gonna like preferably be my name, especially since my name is pretty like uniquely spelled. And I don't know.
Yeah, it's not a common name. Yeah.
So are you actually rich?
No, that's the question I get all the time.
I was wondering.
I've got myself in a hole with that. Like,
yeah.
I feel like I don't like. If I'm building something, I have no room to be like, oh no, that's a little too much for me.
I mean, but
it's in my like, how can I complain, right?
Too rich for my blood.
Conventions, people come up and ask for money from you.
To be fair, nobody's
no,
gonna subscribe. Nobody's gonna subscribe to a poor boy Jay. So
that's true.
Exactly.
I think the name works.
That's like the Lepin version of Rich Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
no, it's a good life.
So yeah, I was very amazed when I had gone back on your channel. I don't know when I did that. Maybe like 6 months ago that I went back and found out how long you had actually been on YouTube. I was like thrown back. I was taken aback. I couldn't believe it. I was like, dang, you've been around a lot longer. But only recently have you really been uploading and making MOCs. So what was your first MOC? Like, what kind of got you into, like, obviously you build giant, highly detailed MOCs now, but like there had to be a starting point. I see like the first one uploaded on your YouTube channel is your Moss Espa pod race from 4 years ago, but was there anything before that, or was there like something that clicked that made you want to start building at that point? Versus...
Yeah, so I throughout my childhood I built a lot, and even like while I was on YouTube, I had a pretty big collection. I was building stuff. I guess never decided to venture over to like the Lego Star Wars like collection side of YouTube. I was more so into the stop motion side, which looking back on it, like that would have been right up my alley. But you know, you learn. But the first thing that kind of got me into started building was actually Brick Plumber. I had just graduated high school, and I was just on the internet, and I had a lot of time on my hands at that point. So I was like, let me just go back, look at some things that I used to do when I had a lot more free time and was less concerned about girls. And I found one of Brick Plumber's videos. It was his indoor mock that he was, I guess, working on at that time, and he had posted a comment in the comment section saying, "I'm going to be at Legoland Star Wars Days displaying this thing, so come out if you can." And that's in California. I live in Houston, Texas. But I was just like, holy crap, that mock is amazing. I want to see it.
I gotta see it. So I can't imagine. Like, I don't know. Like, is anyone else in this call like Jay? I feel like your reaction might have been unique. Where like, I need to fly out to go see this mock type of react. Like, I've never felt that way ever.
Yeah, we're not
really like as much as I love Lego. I don't think I would fly to California just for that reason.
So part of it was also I'd never been to Legoland at that point.
Fair enough.
And I like California. The weather's nice. It's a cool place to go, I think. So that was part of my pitch to my mom. I was like, hey, like you can go to Legoland. I want to do this. I want to do this Lego thing. I'm kind of getting back into it. And I remember that day, like I called my friend over and I was like, hey, I gotta throw together this mock so I can get into this convention. I was like, can you come with me? So we built together Padme's apartment from Star Wars Episode 2. So I would say that was really the inception of my mock building,
right?
Quote unquote. And it's not the greatest thing ever, but it was something. And I just going back and like kind of looking at how people reacted to it and some of the like underhanded compliments I got on it. It was not my best work, but I mean, I don't know, it was cool for me at the time, and it really just going to my first Lego convention just changed my entire perspective on building and Lego. And like I remember after being there, I was like, okay, this is what I want to do with my life. This is gonna be my thing. I'm gonna build mocks and take them to conventions.
Is Jay like cutting out for you guys a little bit?
Slightly right there, but
slightly, yeah.
We could still make it out.
Jay, you good?
Yeah, I don't.
That sounds good.
Yeah, I think you're good
now. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for whatever reason, no, you're good. I think.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah. So that was like 4 or 5 years ago. You went to Legoland, and then you're like, yeah, I want to build mocks. Yep.
That's where it all began.
And so you built Mos Espa Pod Race was like your first legit one?
Yes. So after I got home from there, actually the thing that kind of inspired the pod race was this guy. He had like a Tatooine mock, and he had Luke's land speeder going around the desert like on the Lego train track.
Right.
And I was like, oh, that would be so cool with pod racers. So I was like, well, maybe that's what I'll do. I'll just build a big like pod race desert and arena. So my first Brick Link parts order ever. Remember, I bought tan base plates because at the time Lego didn't sell them. I spent like $15 each on them, and looking at the price now, it's like I feel terrible. But yeah, I bought some base plates, and I just started I sorted out my collection and just started working on that pod race.
So how far along with that mock did you get? Because you told me a great story this summer about what happened to it. Yeah,
so that mock was it was my project that I knew was going to be long term just because of how big it was, and I rebuilt it a few times before I got it to the last point in the picture. I guess we're going to show later.
Well, I'm showing the one picture now. Like it says Pod Race Mock Pics. It's the first one.
Okay, yeah. So that was I rebuilt it a couple times because I realized I was inefficiently using filler. Like one thing you'll realize when you start building is just how many pieces you don't have.
Right.
And I was, I'll just put bricks here, bricks there, and then I realized I ran out so quickly, so I rebuilt it twice until I got to a point where I was like, okay, I could reasonably do this design, and I'll be able to actually do this without burning through too much money. And I got to that point maybe.
Oh, he's getting quiet again for me. J
I mean, it
test.
sounds okay for me.
I'm not.
Testing one,
It
two,
kind of
three.
matters for my end though. Unfortunately,
That is
Justin.
true. No, that is true.
It
Because
kind
you're
of
the one
matters.
recording it.
All right, I think you're good again. I don't know if it's like, I don't know what's happening. It's very weird because it's not like you're connect. I don't know, but I think you're good again.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry to interrupt,
No, that's fine.
but I definitely want people to
Yeah.
hear the story. It's kind of important.
Yeah. So I got to the point in this picture maybe a year after I had initially started the project, and I
Right.
was super excited too, because that was going to be the first. Actually, yeah, it was gonna be the first Lego convention I ever went to, and I could like at that time, I could already tell I probably shouldn't have decided to go because, like, I wasn't close to finished. It was literally just the stadium. The stadium was barely finished. Like,
Right.
most people saw it, I would have to like tell them what it was. Like, it wasn't obvious what I was working on. But
Yeah.
I was like, no, like, I'm determined to take this thing to this convention. So I think the convention was like Thursday to Sunday, and I had to like just stop building Thursday night, and I was like, okay, I'll pack this up. So I just threw it in the back of the truck that I was going to be driving, and this is an SUV, so it was inside with me, and everything just kind of fit in the back. I was like, whatever breaks, I'll build it when I get there. And all the way to the convention, I was going over a hill, and on the other side of the hill there was a wreck that I obviously couldn't see because I was on the other side.
Oh.
But whenever I actually saw the wreck, I had to slam on the brakes, and you can imagine everything that was in the third row was now in the front seat with me. It just
Oh, dang.
and like since I've been building, that's the only
Oh.
time I seriously contemplated like maybe this isn't for me. Like I was how depressed I was. Like I got to the convention and like I just didn't want to be there anymore. I even had some of the other people who were there, like they came up to me and they were like, hey, if you're gonna reserve all this space for your mock, actually bring it because other people, want space as well. And I had to explain to them, like, look, I had every intention on filling that space, but like the mock is destroyed in my car right now.
Damn.
So yeah, no, it was not a good time.
When you
At
wait,
all.
when you reserve space, do you have to pay ahead of time or like what?
Yeah, so when you sign up, regardless of whether or not you do bring a mock, if you're signing up to be a part of the convention, you have to pay, and then
I
you
see.
just put in what mocks you're going to bring and the size, and they kind of like figure where everyone's going to go based on what size you request.
Mhm.
So, obviously there's this big table for me, this new guy no one knows, and I show up with like I ended up putting out 2 of the pod racers. That was the only thing I could like scavenge from it.
Mhm.
From the layout that was supposed to be like 2 tables big, and of course people are like,
Oof.
why did you space for no reason?
Dude.
Dang.
Yeah, I can imagine like just your first one, you're just like so out of place. You're like, oh, why did I even come here? I wish I never did this. Like, I love the I this might not be for me idea there. Wow.
Yeah, no, it was like I was like seriously depressed about that, and that's really the only time I've ever felt that way about just Lego in general. Like since then, I've been pretty excited and motivated to build, and like I've had stuff break since then. Maybe not up to that scale, but like
You're
when
like
I
your
came
ATM
from
6.
brick- oh my god, that's a whole nother story, dude. Like I'm so done traveling with that. Everyone always like when I went to Brick Fair, everyone was like, "Why didn't you bring it?" I'm just like, I'm just done traveling with it because last time when I came from Brick World, they had I guess they lost they lost like one half of my luggage in like transit because basically I was catching a connection, but it like stopped at the midway point. It didn't make it home with me. So they had to like ship it to me, and then when I got the bag, like it was just destroyed, and I was like, I'm tired of rebuilding this thing. So I'm done traveling with my ATM6, and the point of that was like I've dealt with rebuilding stuff before, but that like pod race, man, like that was devastating.
You didn't rebuild, right? Like that was that. You're just done with that one.
So I did start rebuilding it. I actually have a section sitting right here next to me, and I feel like I'm gonna have to rebuild it anyways, just because I build differently now than I did back then. But I did actually rebuild a lot of it, and it was just kind of to make myself feel better. But I mean, since then that project has kind of been put on the back burner for other projects. Like I built my HTT and Falcon since then.
I think with that story you just told, though, that would be really awesome for you to recreate that and actually take it somewhere to show it in its full display,
And that's the plan, right? Like that
Yeah.
was the first big project that I wanted to do. And even at this point, it's still ambitious. Like even with the things that I've built so far, like that would just kind of size-wise below everything I've done even up to this point.
Yeah, because it's not
sure.
like I guess Crate has the giant cave or wall or whatever, but I feel like this one has a lot of depth to it as opposed to Crate. I guess.
Yeah, no, like Crate was mostly flat, excluding the cave sections, but this one would obviously there'd be the big stadium, and there would need to be like mountains, and I had to integrate train track to have the pods going through, so it'd be quite involved, and I would love to do it again at some point. It's just now that there's new movies coming out, like when I first started, I guess we had seen a trailer for episode 7, but we didn't really know too much about it. But now that new movies are coming out, it's like, oh, there's reference material like every single year, like something you can build. So I try to. You just get really inspired by the cool new thing that everyone's doing. But I'm honestly glad that we have quite a bit of a gap between when Solo came out and when Episode 9 is coming out, because it's kind of like a down mock period where I can do a few things that aren't necessarily tied to new movies.
Yeah, that definitely opens up your abilities there. You could go back and finish the pod race next year with Garrett. That might be the secret project.
It could be. Who knows?
So Garrett is like your pal, your bestie. He's like RichboyJhae number 2.
Yeah, before he became Garrett Bricks. He didn't have a YouTube channel, but
yeah, he's just Garrett on RichboyJhae.
He was like, yeah, he was asking people, like, what should I name my channel? And I campaigned so hard for him to be Rich Boy Garrett. But
I think it's better he didn't.
Yeah, no, in hindsight. Yeah.
So you met him working at the LEGO store, right? So it's just like a match made in heaven.
Yeah, no, it's the craziest thing ever, right? Because I mean, I feel like I don't know about you guys, but it's not very often that I come across people in real life, like in just casual situations, that are actually into Lego as much as we are.
Oh
so
yeah, dude, that never happens,
Yeah. And you would think and like that was my impression too. Like I thought I'll be working at the LEGO store. Like I want to, of course, come across fans, and you come across people who maybe care about it a little more than the average person. But most people are still fairly casual, and they don't collect like I do. But for us to kind of come across each other, and he wasn't really building MOCs when I met him, but he was certainly buying sets, and I don't know, it just ended up working out,
Yeah. So what was it? So you work at a LEGO store, like, you have any crazy stories?
Yeah, the craziest thing
I saw. The best.
I love these. Yeah. I love LEGO store employee stories.
Same here.
Yeah, so this one isn't like particularly like a bad customer thing, but this is like still something I can't believe, and it may have something to do with like the type of mall I work at. It's a relatively higher class mall, and that's typically where you'll find LEGO stores. So who can imagine what other stores people have seen? But I remember this was when the Superstar story was on shelves, and this kid comes in with his parents, and the kid couldn't have been more than like 5 or 6 years old. Like he was maybe like a foot taller than the Star Destroyer box. And he points to it and he's like, "Hey, I want that set." And his parents are like, "You already have that one." And then he's like, "Oh, I want another one." So his parents just buy him a Superstar Destroyer, and this kid apparently just has 2 Superstar Destroyers chilling at home with him.
Man. What a kid. That's
where do I find those parents?
Exactly.
Rich boy kid.
No, it's crazy. And I mean, even like I've heard about crazy stuff too. I don't know how long you guys, well, obviously you guys have been into Lego for a while, but depending on how close a Lego store is to you, like at one point that original UCS Falcon they could sell, and it was like half off. And
really?
I have some friends who were it was half off at the Lego store.
Oh wow, I can't imagine that. Holy crud.
Yeah, and I have some friends who had worked at the store at that time, and like they were able to use their employee discount on top of that. So
oh my gosh, that was probably cheap as
before the most recent one came out, like I had some buddies who were like, "Yeah, I bought it for like $125," and I was just like, "Oh my
holy
God.
crud!" Wow,
that's insane.
Dang, if they never opened that, they could have made so much profit off of that. Like,
I know, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, Kevin Hinkle had some similar ones when he was on. He was like, "Yeah, they were bringing up the Cloud Cities by the pallet type thing back in 2004." Like.
Wait, but Jay, when did you start working at the Lego store?
I started working there summer of 2013. So actually, I think on my birthday, July of 2013, that's when I started working.
So is that before you kind of got back into mock building or after?
That was like right after. So basically, Legoland would have happened in June,
Okay.
and then like when I was preparing for that, I went to the Lego store for the first time to buy a Pick-a-Brick cup, and I saw a sign that said they were hiring on the wall, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll apply to work here, and that's really where it began.
Yeah, I mean that's perfect. To buy a Pick-a-Brick cup, just one? Like that's the only reason you went?
Yeah, it was like, so for the biggest reason I only bought one was because the store was basically closed. By the time I finished putting it together, like I got there at like 8:55.
How far away is it from your house?
At the time, it was maybe a 20-minute drive. I've moved since then, and it's like a 30-minute drive. So
yeah,
it's better than most people. Like I understand Lego stores aren't close to a lot of people. I live in a city where like there's 3 Lego stores within an hour from me, so I do have. It's nice. The only thing is like when you work there, it's not the most convenient place to work for me. Like, it's a like very crowded mall, and sometimes it can take 30 minutes to find a parking spot. But I mean, the things we do for Lego, though, there's only one place I'd go that much out of the way to work at.
Yeah, I don't blame, dude. It's a neat gig to have, especially when you're doing YouTube as well. With you get like, it helps like. It must be so nice to get half price on Pick-a-Brick for like for what you do and at the scale you're doing it. Like I would wager that it would be impossible to afford it otherwise.
Oh, definitely. Like, no, like if I wasn't at the Lego store, like I would maybe have like 25% of the collection I have now.
Yeah.
It's just so much.
Yeah, especially with all the sets every year too. They're very expensive now. To get
I know.
Wave.
Like that's the thing. Like I don't know how you guys do it. Like I don't even look at Lego set prices the same way anymore. Like instinctively, my brain takes off. Like I look at a price and it appears as half the price to me.
$100 for the UCSY wing. What a ripoff.
Yeah, exactly. And that happens sometimes, right? It's like, do I really want to spend like that much on this, even though it's half off? I mean, that's first world problem.
None of us would blink twice about spending any. Like,
no,
only you.
I know. My life is so.
Lego needs to have a day where they're like, today we're having our employee discount for Friends and Family Day.
Man,
that would be a day.
Be cleared out.
Exactly.
Apparently, I was talking to my boss, and maybe like a year or so before I started working there, so maybe like the late 2000s, around Christmas time, they did like scratch off cards, and every store, like one of the scratch off cards got you like 50% off of everything in the store. So like there was one time, and I guess one of the customers got it, and he spent like tens of thousands of dollars in the store.
Oh my god.
This was before like really cracking down on people reselling it. It wasn't as big a problem back then. So like, obviously no one, like, you couldn't do that nowadays. Like that'll raise a big red flag.
Well, if the card says you get 50% off anything in the store, then you can buy as much as you want. There should not be a limitation.
Sure, yeah, but I guess the only problem now is they would do it. That's what I'm saying. Like based on how Lego, sees the aftermarket nowadays, they would put some sort of limit on that. At the time, they weren't as concerned about that, but now like it's definitely a bigger problem than it was back then. But the point of that was like conversely, like the next year, this one guy got the scratch off card and he was buying like a Bionicle, and he got the 50% off, and he was like, "Oh well, now I can get another Bionicle." So,
That's polar opposites right there, dude. That's a good one. I've never heard of that.
Well,
the scratch off thing.
Jay, with you working at the Lego store, have there been any sets recently that haven't been, like, surprisingly to you, haven't been selling too well, or have been selling really well?
Yeah, okay, so I feel I'm not the greatest judge when it comes to what people want from Lego sets, because like I didn't expect like Saturn V to sell very well.
Yeah,
like,
me neither.
Yeah,
it's a rocket ship, man. Every kid wants it, I'm sure.
Yeah, but I was like, Micro doesn't sell well and stuff like that. But I guess I'm wrong.
Yeah, I know, and yeah, that was kind of how I felt.
Yeah.
And same thing, honestly, like from what I've been seeing, I mean, and maybe this isn't surprising because people are more torn on Cloud City than I am, but Cloud City, I can see, hasn't been selling very well. And I thought like this would be kind of a generational set, kind of like the Falcon.
Yeah, same here.
Just because of how valuable the last one is. So, I mean, I think the culture of Star Wars is a little bit different at this point. Like,
yeah,
people do seem more inclined to like love to hate stuff, which is fine. Like, if Star Wars can take people adoring them, they can take people.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think a playset will ever sell out. Like I didn't expect Cloud City to sell out. Like, let's be honest. Like, I'm not surprised.
I think that it's something to do with the price and the shaping. It's a very big, set.
I
with
also
awkward shaping.
I would
like,
also think it would sell better. It would sell better over time. Like, it seems like it's the type of thing that younger kids would want, and they'll save up their money over the years, get it for their birthday throughout the year. Maybe it'll sell better towards Christmas, but like I think it's something that will sell slowly throughout the year, but it will sell as opposed to selling all at once like a Millennium Falcon.
Do you know of any numbers out of that, Ryan? Are they announced anything?
They never released sales numbers.
Well, last
think...
week we said we were going to refer to a featured comment. I'm just looking down through one here.
Oh, that's right.
Charm City Brick says, out of the 5 LEGO stores in the DC area, exactly 26 Cloud Cities were sold on day one.
Oh, well, you can ask people at the store, like,
yeah.
Like, you can, like, I'm sure if I asked an employee that was there, they could have told me 5 people were there when I was there, and that's how many were sold, But
sure. It says with the population incomes in this area definitely not looking good. On the other hand, 3 of the 5 stores sold out of the Winter Fire Station by the next day, and it was 5 for 5 sold out for it. So I don't know if any of that's true, but
Charm City Brick seems. I met him at Brick Fair this year. I would trust his word there.
Wait, his name was Charm City Brick?
Charm City Brick. So basically, each store sold about 5 of them.
I was just saying, Charm City is a great burger place in South Florida. Please check it out.
Oh my
Best
God.
Burgers. If anybody listening has been to Charm City, please comment. I would love to see that. But
also, our new sponsor, Charm City. Thank you.
But Jay, what were you saying?
From what I've seen at my store, like, I was expecting for there to be a line because I opened the store that morning and no one was there to buy Cloud City. Like, usually when there's a UCS set, like the Y-Wing, there was people waiting outside.
Really?
Snowspeeder, all those sets. Like, there's those people who will buy every UCS set and they'll be there in the morning to assure that they get one.
Right.
But there was just nobody there for Cloud City.
How many did you sell? Do you have an idea?
We sold like 2 that first day and maybe 1 the next day. Like, it has been like shockingly underperforming in my opinion.
So these numbers check out.
Justin, you remember how many people were there for the Millennium Falcon last year in Orlando?
There was a lot.
Like 40 or 50. Like that. Yeah, it was. There was a lot. There was a massive line.
You weren't there for Harry Potter, and Harry Potter had a huge line. Like, it was.
Would you say more than the Millennium Falcon, or?
I would say more. Yeah, it was.
Okay.
That was like the most I've seen. But
maybe
like,
I bet maybe because it wasn't $800 though too. Maybe that plays somewhat of a role.
Sure. Yeah.
This is kind of good news for me, though, because I'm in at $250. So if this thing doesn't sell and they decide to do a little bit of price drops on there, I might be buying it.
I wouldn't be surprised if it does.
Okay.
And Jay, do you get recognized a lot at the LEGO store?
It's happened a few times.
That's so
not
cool.
a ton, but the funny thing, the most recent one, this kid walks up to me and is like, "Do you know MandRproductions?" And I'm like, I guess.
I guess.
That a few times. I wouldn't.
You're like, what about me?
But I guess he had seen one of like Ryan's vlogs, and he that's how he had recognized me from that. But yeah, it's happened a few times. It's pretty cool.
That's awesome, though.
You can tell people the LEGO store you work at.
I try. No, that is. I try.
Yeah, don't do that.
Oh, okay, I wasn't sure.
Public record.
Well, do people know which state you live in? And you said there's 3 in the city, so everyone can put 2 and 2 together here. You can go LEGO store hopping. Hey, I'm just trying to help. Trying to push sales to your store. Go buy Cloud City from Jay's store. So, like, any other, like, crazy stories, like parents coming in mad at you that you don't have a set, like, just, like, kind of, I don't know, anything bonkers you can think of that's happened? You've been working there for, like, 5 years now, I guess, 2013.
As much anymore, but, like, there was, like, a string of, like, you'll see, like, the custom creations go viral. So there was, like, Breaking Bad at one point.
Yeah.
And a few things like that. And the biggest one was probably the Lego, like, the Jello, where people make, like, bricks out of the ice molds out of Jello. You guys saw that.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
And then fidget spinners as well. So, like, when trendy stuff like that happens, we just get people coming in the store in droves trying to get it. And then, like, when we have to explain to them, like, 1, that's not a real Lego set, or 2, like, yes, someone made that out of Lego, but, like, we don't have that here. Like, you can't, like, we don't have the parts of the picker wall for you to just make anything you want. And, like, a fidget spinner is not included in that. like it's surprising. Like how do you not have this?
Has any kid asked for Lego Fortnite?
No, not yet.
What? Dude, I'm shocked. As popular as Fortnite is, I'm actually shocked that hasn't happened. At least, I mean, I guess it would be. Has anyone asked you, right? Like you haven't asked all your.
Right. Yeah. It definitely could have happened.
It has to have happened. Fortnite is way too popular. There's no way. That's.
But yeah, no. I get a lot of Transformers, Call of Duty.
Yeah, I see
Halo.
the Mega Blocks of the Creo.
It's to the casual person, it's so difficult to explain. Like, okay, yeah, that's a building brick system, but it's not us, you know. And then you get the people who come in that just think like the Lego store is just a toy store, and they'll ask like, "Oh, do you have an Xbox?" Or,
no way, people actually ask
I'm
that.
dead serious. I'm dead serious. And then
That's
for a while,
funny.
like I didn't even. This is actually going back to the fidget spinner thing. I didn't even know what a fidget spinner was, but like a customer came in, he's like, "Do you have the spinner thing?" And I'm just like, "I have no clue what you're talking about." I honestly you meant,
The
like,
Ninjago spinner, of course. Yeah,
exactly,
whatever.
that's what I thought he meant. But then he like gets a sheet of paper and he draws like 3 circles on it. And he's like this. And I'm just like, I don't know what that is. What are you trying to show me? And then later on, I found like, oh, like there's this new fidget spinner trend. But yeah, no, it's always interesting to see how people perceive Lego. And of course, everyone's always like, oh, do people actually? They see the Millennium Falcon, they see the price, and they're like, oh, do people actually buy this? And I'm like, yeah, it sells very well actually. Like, it was hard enough for us to keep it on shelves.
Right.
I was just thinking about how nice it'd be to go back to a world where fidget spinners didn't exist and you didn't know what they were.
Yeah. I don't know if you know.
There was a time.
They had a Lego fidget spinner set at Legoland.
Did they?
Did they actually?
Yeah, there's a Lego Ninjago fidget spinner set.
You gotta hook up
Oh,
Greg
A
and Clark with
Legoland
one.
exclusive.
I know a guy.
I have it. It was it comes with exclusive prints for some reason. I don't know why, but a very weird set. I don't
How
know.
else
like,
are you
I've
gonna
never
sell a fidget spinner?
I know, right? But yeah, and I heard that when the ice cube thing took off, you know, the gummies,
Yeah.
Lego had to put a new production run for that ice cube kit because it was out of production because that video went viral, so they had to start putting it in stores and stuff for the ice cube.
That's awesome.
Yeah, like we hadn't sold a single one of those in months, and then all of a sudden everyone wants one.
That's funny. Wow, just goes to show how the landscape has changed because of YouTube and social media and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. I always take pleasure when I have a customer come in and they're like at the pick a brick wall trying to like get pieces for a mock, and you can always tell like what they're maybe trying to build if it's Star Wars related, like, oh, I need water studs, or I need grass, or I need white. Like, I don't know. It's always nice to try to give them some guidance.
He's building
And then they
Camino.
always ask like, oh, do you build? I build a little bit, and I'll show them
I
like,
build
oh
a little bit.
yeah.
I don't want to oversell it.
Yeah, because I mean, because you get the people who I'll show a picture and they're like, oh, okay, that's cool. Like,
Right.
it just Lego, people perceive Lego very differently than a lot of us do.
So, well, Lego store is always an interesting place.
Yeah.
I want to start working there sometime just to get the stories and not even the discount. I don't really care about the discount, but it's just it just seems
Quit
like
lying.
a fun job.
Quit lying.
I'm just saying.
You will take the 50% off discount very
Rich
happily.
boy just too.
No
good.
complaints,
I don't
Justin.
It seems like a really cool place to work, but I do wonder if it would turn into that thing where you think it's awesome, and then like the 14th time someone comes in and it's like, hey, my son's looking for that for the vehicle set, the one with the vehicle, and then you're just like,
Yeah.
Like, do you ever get to that point where you're just kind of like frustrated with it?
Yeah, because so the biggest thing that honestly frustrates me is when they're like, oh, where are the girl sets, right? And I mean, obviously I know what they mean, but
Yeah.
it can get annoying like when I know like this person's shopping for a girl, and it's like the boy has all these options like, oh, I'll get them the train, I'll give them the Star Wars set, but like for the girl it's like, oh, like it needs to be in a pink box, otherwise I won't buy it.
Right.
And I'm just like, there's so many other like cool things that they could be into, and I don't know.
Yeah,
it's
you
kind
should
of
show them. Do you show them the friend stuff, or do you show them like just everything
Elves.
when they ask?
Man, dude, I'd never been asked about elves so much until they discontinued it. Now everyone's like, oh, where's elves? I'm like, what? Like, I could probably
Right.
count the number of elf sets I've sold on one hand.
Oh my god.
But yeah, no, it's it's still a job. Like it's Lego, which is not makes it nice because I keep up with the news, so I can generally know what to talk to people about and like what they might want. But it's still a job, and you get the customers who I'd say most customers are very casual, and you can't really get too in deep with them in like the Lego, the lingo and just stuff like that. But
I see.
It's nice to work somewhere where no matter what. I'm happy to go in there and like, deal with the product because it's something.
Yeah,
You're passionate about what the products that you sell, so that definitely helps.
Exactly. Yeah. Except when I sell brickheads.
Just brickheads. We got a brick. I didn't know you were a brickheads hater.
I'm not a. I don't know.
What do you hate? You just
Minecraft
hate selling them, like.
No, I mean no. Like if a customer wants it, like I'll do it. It's just I don't.
No VIP
I
points
didn't
for
get
this
the Funko
one.
Pops, and the fact that Lego jumped on that trend, and it's obviously very smart for them. I don't fault them for it. It's just I don't know. It's just, and maybe you can call this the like elitist Lego creator in me, but like some of the reasons people like get into collecting Lego, I kind of feel like I don't know.
It's funny. We have a brickheads topic on the news.
This is a great,
Time to delete it.
great segue.
RichboyJhae hates brickheads. That's the title.
Speaking of brickheads,
So Jay, what do you think of these new brickheads? Take a gander.
there's a Santa and Mrs.
Man,
Claus.
I like these. I'm gonna buy them.
What I like is I didn't know it was a 2-pack, and it's a 2-pack.
You gonna?
I
Sell...
liked it until it became a 2-pack because I want the Santa Claus, but I don't want the Mrs. Claus.
Oh,
Wow.
now you gotta
I was about to. Yeah, you know what I'm gonna say though.
I'm not. It's not sexist. It's
Yeah,
just
You
it
guys
is.
are all sexist,
It is though, Greg. You
misogynistic.
there's no.
there. You got a new title
There's
for
no
the
way
podcast.
around it. There's no way around it. It just is.
I like
right?
both. I love Santa. Like Santa.
Yeah, Santa
like,
Claus
I like
is so
the
iconic.
Santa Claus minifigures and
I
everything. Like those are the best. Yeah.
Yeah, I could see if you were just gonna pick one, I would totally go for Santa too. But...
Yeah, but I still think the Miss Claus is really cool. How they build her up and she has like almost like a dress body. I think that's really
we'll
interesting.
feed her to the dog.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Don't need that one. But yeah, I mean,
Maybe
I think
they
they're
should've
good
done,
models.
like,
I really
Oh,
like
yes.
the additions that they put on these special ones where they have like I don't know what the heck's next to Mrs. Claus on the right there. Maybe that's a candy cane. And then you have the table, and then you have a little Christmas tree. And like I love those little additions that they add onto these as opposed to just the stands.
Yeah, a little bit of decoration.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, maybe since you guys didn't like Miss Claus so much, would you have preferred if maybe like it was like a $15 pack and they had one of those middle-sized ones and it was
Little
like an
reindeer?
elf or something?
Yes,
Oh,
I
an
wanted
elf, yeah.
Rudolph. That's what I wanted. I wanted Santa Claus and
reindeer?
Rudolph.
Yeah, that would have been interesting.
Yeah.
But Rudolph, yeah, okay, never mind. But yeah, $20. It's gonna be interesting.
Maybe next year, Greg. You'll get
We'll
your wish.
see.
Submit it to Lego Ideas.
No, next year, according to Justin, they should go back to the vignettes again, which is something I'm
Yes,
looking
there'll be minifigure ones for sure.
Oh,
Well, what
that'd be
was?
great.
Again, that's just the rule of every other year.
to. Okay.
No,
Not based-
what's every other year before Brickheads though? Vignettes and what?
And brick built ones. So this follows the brick. It's still brick built.
Okay.
It's
Yeah,
like
makes
that.
sense.
Yeah, before that it would be the brick built characters, which I did not like at all.
Oh, those didn't
Yeah.
look very good. Okay.
Yeah, I have creepy Santa. That's what I call him, and he's
Yeah.
really scary looking.
Yeah. But yeah,
Very interesting.
sorry about that brickhead stuff. But right up your alley, Jay. There's been new 2019 LEGO Star Wars information provided by Ryan in one of his videos. So Ryan, take it away.
I couldn't find my paper with everything on it, and it's kind of slipped my mind. So give me like 10 seconds here. But we'll talk about what we do know. Is that there will be LEGO sets next year.
No way.
Actually, Lego hasn't confirmed this yet, so we don't really know. But we're making inferences based on past patterns. So I think next year.
While Ryan kind of gets that,
I
together,
gotta
have a
find my
question for you
paper with my
guys.
stuff on it.
I'm waiting for somebody to do a video like that. Confirmed Lego is putting out sets this year. We don't have any pieces or the themes, but it is going to happen. So
Lego never confirms that they're putting out set. I don't think they ever have done that. That'd be a good one.
I was gonna say, so I guess a general question for you guys. I feel honestly like next year is going to be maybe a more unconventional year for Star Wars, just because there's not only the fact that there's the 20th anniversary, but there's obviously new movie coming out, like 3 new series, like TV shows coming out as well. I feel Do you guys get that impression as well, that it will work out a little differently?
I brought that up in my video because I noticed that the piece counts and the pricing, like, none of it, like, made any sense to me. Like, usually, and for like, the January wave of sets, all the prices lined up with the set number, if that makes sense. So, like, from lowest to highest, you would have, like, set number 1, 2, 3, 4, and it would be
right, yeah,
$10, $20, $30. But, like, later down the list, like, it just gets out of hand, and I was like, and it's entirely possible that, like, some of the lists, again, it's a rumor list, so it's not, Lego hasn't been like, this is what this is, and that's what that is, so you never know. But most of the time, like, when something's true, and, like, it's a little bit weird, but, like, I think at least the pricing in the set numbers is legit, like, where that comes from, because you can't really fake that. So it's gonna be a weird year. I'm with you, Jay. It's gonna be a really weird year for LEGO Star Wars. But I think good weird, not bad weird. But it's just
we'll have to see if they bank on the Star Wars Resistance show when that comes out.
I haven't seen a single thing about those sets. Although there's a bunch of sets we don't have names for, so probably some of those.
Exactly. So we'll have to see. It is a very weird, unconventional year. But,
yeah, I would have assumed they would have thrown a lot of those in the juniors line, but it looks like they're just going to straight original trilogy.
Dude, that's so true, because they totally made the juniors line for kids, and they totally made the show for kids. They said it was for kids. It would have been perfect, but it is not perfect.
Wow.
But yeah, Slave 1 next year, which would be shocking because there's a lot of Slave 1s right now, or will be because there's a juniors one next year. And
well, it's the freaking, the Django.
It might be Django. That was
That's
speculation.
what I'm getting.
I tried to make it clear that was speculation on my part, but
okay, yeah. For me, I'm not saying I know anything like if it's going to be or not. I'm just thinking it has to be because they've done so many. Like
right.
They just did one with Cloud City for Boba Fett, so it has to be Django.
Well, it is a much larger model, which makes me think maybe it's not. You know what I mean? So, and the juniors one could also be Django Fett's, but that wouldn't make sense given that the rest of the sets seem to be original trilogy. But I don't know. There's a lot going on next year. What's
the 20th anniversary stuff? Did you say it in your video? Because I think you did. I don't know how much you said though.
So some maybe 20th anniversary sets, maybe Anakin's Pod Racer, maybe a Snow Speeder, but that's all I have that I know of.
A Snow Speeder and Anakin's Pod Racer? Okay. Because that makes total sense to me because both of those were 1999 sets.
Yeah.
And those have to be, yeah.
So I don't know if they're going to straight up re-release the 1999 set. I would be kind of shocked if they did that. I highly doubt they would. I don't think.
No, they'll just.
I don't think I have all the sealed 1999 sets in my garage right now, and having seen them and held them, I don't think anyone would buy them today, even
of course not,
given their special editionness. But we'll see. Next year should be interesting. I don't know.
I would assume they probably weren't straight re-releases just because at that point they were still using the older grays, and it would be
maybe not a straight re-release, but design-wise,
that's why that alone, the older grays, I think they're going to just do that. They're going to do that. I think they'll just do, just a new Snow Speeder, a new Pod Racer, because again, those are things that not like. If it was something that we just got, it would make sense, for them to do the original version, but we haven't gotten a Pod Racer for Anakin in a while. We haven't gotten a Snow Speeder in a while. So.
Right. And we also apparently know the set number for the next UCS set. It's 75244. Obviously, the set number doesn't really tell us anything, but yeah. I've started a new thing. It's Complete the Fleet, and that is in reference to the Rebel fleet. And that would be, we need an A-Wing, because we've gotten the B-Wing, the Snow Speeder, the Y-Wing, the Millennium Falcon, the Tantive, what else am I missing there? The X-Wing.
X-Wing.
All in UCS, except the A-Wing. So it's time to complete the fleet Lego. I'll be releasing that in my merch line.
Did we ever have an A-Wing in UCS before?
No, that's the point, complete the fleet.
Oh,
we don't
literally.
Have the
I thought you were just saying recently. Okay.
No, literally complete the fleet.
Literally.
It's pretty it's pretty good. It's pretty good rhyme there.
Hashtag, yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully Lego will do it.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever set they're coming out with next year, it's already decided. It's probably done, but I may as well throw that out there for them.
In your video, did you say the play set that we mentioned before this?
We mentioned the play set before this.
Hero versus villain one.
Oh yeah. Rey versus Kylo Ren.
Okay, so that's Poe. Okay, yeah. That one. That sounds really interesting to me. I would imagine it's based off episode 7. I mean, that's gonna be.
It's an episode 9 early release.
No. No way. It's funny. I don't know if you follow the Hobbit line.
I do not.
Yeah, well, for that line, the Hobbit was supposed to be 2 movies, and they ended up splitting it into 3, like the summer before the first one came out.
Oh wow.
And Lego already had the sets for the first movie and what would now be the second movie planned. And they were going to release the second movie sets with the first movie sets because it was supposed to be 1 movie, because it was supposed to be only 2 movies. So they had to eventually release the sets. It released with the first movie sets, but they put this thing in the corner called Special Hobbit Trilogy Preview Set because it was too late. They couldn't delay it. So yeah, that's when he said episode 9 preview set. I thought of that. I'm like, Lego has done that.
I never
before.
knew about that. That's interesting.
Yeah.
It's just a little piece of lore that only Just Too Good knows.
Yeah, it was for the Barrel Escape set and Barrel Escape and the Mirkwood Spider set. But yeah, I always thought that was really interesting because it's like, okay, we got to release them because they're part of our core line.
Yeah, it really is.
They just made this decision. Yeah, so a little cool fact.
What is JP 2019?
Oh, okay.
Jake Paul?
Jurassic Park.
Darn.
Man, you're so dead set on that A-full thing. But yeah, the Jurassic Park 2019 sets. D-Max on Instagram, I hope that's how you say his name. He said that there's going to be 3 sets coming for Jurassic Park. So that's interesting. He said Jurassic World, so I should probably say Jurassic World. But we don't know what these are going to be. But I mean, Jay, you could probably attest to this since you work at the LEGO store. Jurassic World sets sold pretty well, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it makes sense for them to make some more sets in 2019, but it's not something they do often where they make it a year after the movie comes out. But
Dude,
when
does the next movie come out?
Star Wars sets 4 years later.
Right? Yeah. 2021 is the next Jurassic World movie.
You think they're going to try to carry it through the next couple of years and keep it around, Jurassic World?
No, I think this is I mean, there's only 3 sets. This is like the last. This is a last-ditch effort, but they've done this. I'm probably going to make a list video on this someday of like sets that came after the movie came out, but they did this for Cars where they made 2012 sets when Cars 2 came out in 2011.
Yeah.
They did it for the Lego movie when they made 2015 sets when the movie came out in 2014. Lego Batman movie 2018 sets, 2017. They did it for Indiana Jones 2009 sets when there's 2008 sets. But yeah, it's not something that happens often. Like you got Angry Birds, which was just 1 year. Pirates of the Caribbean, which was 1 year. Even though we did get a Pirates of the Caribbean set in 2011, that was the main sets were spring, and then they released one in October for some reason. But I mean, it must mean that they're selling well for Jurassic World. I just thought that was interesting.
Does Clark like the dinosaurs, Greg?
Oh yeah. The only ones that we bought. I mean, I had people that wanted us to buy like every one of them, but the junior sets are really great, even though they were really expensive, and the dinosaur portion of it was a huge hit.
There's the $50 junior set, which I was just like, wow.
That's the one that I got, and yeah, it was, it's a little much, but I try to justify it by saying, money's one thing and price per piece or whatever is one thing, but if you get enjoyment out of something and if you like it, sometimes you can overcome that.
I mean, I've heard those sold really well, the juniors one especially, because it's like, that's
kids love dinosaurs, dude.
Love dinosaurs.
I have a 2-year-old cousin. The kid walks around the house acting like a dinosaur. His like nighttime pajamas are dinosaurs. Like kids love dinosaurs. Like, yeah, dude, that's a thing.
And the thing I want is, please give me some herbivore dinosaurs. Like.
Oh, they don't have any.
Agreed.
Are they herbivorous?
I haven't had one.
Over at Lego?
No, well, not for a while.
Damn herbivorous.
So Triceratops is herbivore, right?
Yeah.
And they had one of those in Dino, the 2012 line, and it goes for like maybe I'm exaggerating like the Mystery Machine, but
you exaggerate every time, not just a Mystery Machine.
There was a Triceratops Trapper.
All right.
It was a $50 set, or was it 30? I don't remember. It's either 50 or 30. But the dinosaur itself, the Triceratops, goes for like $100 now because it's the same style as the new ones, but it only came in one set.
I think kids like the aggressive dinosaurs, though, right?
They want Triceratops in Jurassic World.
Yeah.
It's $10 on eBay.
Which one? Triceratops in Jurassic World?
Extra large Triceratops Jurassic World minifigure dinosaur.
That is that even like official Lego? Because like
The one for okay, yeah, Justin, you were exaggerating once again. Genuine Lego Dinosaur Triceratops minifigure from 5885. I assume that's a set. $60, not $100. All right.
okay, well, sorry, that's still a
That's
lot.
half the
That's still a
price.
lot.
That's
Is it in
That's not
mint
half the
condition
price.
though?
let me zoom in. Let me enhance. Looks clean to me. That looks pretty good. I'm showing it for people on my camera there.
I exaggerated a bit. It was 60%. You know, I was 40% off.
Basically,
You could say it's like $100, and that incorporates anything from like 50 up to like $200.
You round up. Basically, if Justin says a price, cut it in half, and that's probably what it's actually worth.
Okay.
Or if he's offering you first, if he's like trying to buy something from you, double it, and that's what it's worth.
While we're on the topic of Jurassic Park, though, the mock of the week is Jurassic Park related.
Oh, that's perfect. I haven't seen this yet, so I'm actually kind of excited.
Good segue.
Go.
It was my week. I did some searching on Reddit to try to find something, and this is what I came up with. Hopefully they can see it. This is just titled Jurassic Park Cars Mock. And I thought it was pretty cool. It was one of the coolest things that I saw that was uploaded like in the last week or so, or 2 weeks.
Yeah, those are pretty nice.
So you got the
nice,
Ford
yeah.
Explorer, the classic one that they ride around in, and then you also have the Jeep Wrangler with the Jurassic Park stickers on there. I would probably buy these as sets. I mean, they could be cleaned up a little bit, especially the roof on the green one. But
yeah, that's a little bit hodgepodgey.
I'm kind of partial to these to like the original Jurassic Park stuff.
I actually like the one to the left more, even though it's not the original, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I love the antenna for windshield wipers. Those are pretty neat.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was actually from
like the side of the windows, like the support beams for the roof on the Jeep.
Oh yeah, that's
The
actually
wrenches.
neat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that is neat. You mean the crowbar, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The crowbar on,
Oh,
Yeah.
the red crowbar on
I
the
see it. Yeah.
windowsill.
That's super clever. I love that. Yeah, with these, I mean, we would hope if there's Jurassic World sets next year, I'm sure one of them's Jurassic Park, and they'll probably have to do the Jeep. Like.
I would love it
That's
if they
one
just
thing
did one of these
I'm kind
throwback
of disappointed
vehicles.
they haven't done yet.
Yeah, I know, because it's like the big missing thing, and we're still missing like Dr. Hammond as a character. So I think they're going to do a Jurassic Park one as one of those 3 sets next year, but we'll have to wait and see.
Right.
So you're thinking one of these vehicles will become one of the sets.
Yeah,
That'd be awesome.
for sure. Yeah, probably with the visitor center or whatever, but we'll see.
So, Greg and I have started playing video games on the internet.
Yes. It's finally a thing.
Yeah.
We played Fortnite. We played Call of Duty Blackout.
Dang it! I missed Greg playing Fortnite.
Missed
Yeah,
Greg
it was
playing Fortnite.
it was my first attempt.
We won on his
we
second
did.
game.
Yeah, our first game I got destroyed instantly, Ryan shortly thereafter, and then we played in like a squad of 4 and we ended up winning. Although I didn't do anything to contribute. Ryan held the team up there. So it's
It was fun.
it's a fun game. I like the realism of Blackout more, and I definitely think Blackout, when it is released, is going to be a better game. What do you think, Ryan?
Yeah, I'm having withdrawals right now from Blackout. I really want to play it.
Yeah, I guess you're not an unbiased source though, because you're a huge Call of Duty fan.
Right.
You were kind of using Fortnite as something to do in the meantime, right?
Yeah, and I also really enjoy playing it with I have friends that don't have PS4s, but they play all PC games, and it's really great because it's crossplay. So like, it's a game that I enjoy playing it. Like, it's actually a lot of fun. So I enjoy being able to play with them, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to play games with them for the most part, unless we play like some crappy computer game that my computer can run. I guess not. They're usually playing more higher end games, I suppose, like Overwatch. But
Sure.
I love that it has crossplay.
I liked the whole building aspect. I think that'll be fun. I of course have to learn it. And I think a lot of this comes down to practicing and learning the controls and stuff. But I like the realism of Blackout. And
Okay, I will put a counter to Blackout. All right, maybe you can say I'm Fortnite biased, but
sure.
all right, because I played Blackout. I played Blackout because my friend Jordan got it, and like, I do not like the realism of it. Because first off, it's not even realistic because they don't even have real guns in it. It's all just like made up guns.
Futuristic.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking like something that looks like a cartoon versus something that looks like if you were actually
You're saying
dropped
the
in.
graphics, yeah. That's what I say. The graphics for realism are too bland and boring to me. I can't even see or enjoy the environment. I say this is why I didn't like Call of Duty from the start. No offense, Ryan.
Oh.
The graphics are very bland and very
Shots fired.
boring. And I can't even tell anything apart. It's like it all just blends into like ugh. So I like Halo. Halo has
I
color
mean,
to it.
you should probably
Fortnite
get
has
some
color.
glasses.
I do have. Well, okay. I
I
have
didn't know if I
insect
was supposed
eyes,
to say you
okay?
have glasses. You know, it gives a little
I know. Well,
throw a
I
little
have
curveball.
insect. I have reading glasses as an insect. But yeah, it just looks so bland to me. I can't play a
No,
realistic game like
so
that.
Blackout, I agree with you. It's hard to pick people out. Like it's hard to see things, but on the flip side of that, it's also hard for people to see you. So like it goes
Sure.
both ways, which is kind of something that you may not realize. But other people can't see you that easy too. So it's not like you're just getting picked off from nowhere, But
I think
I
there's a
agree with
market
you.
for both, and I think the one thing that this is determined is that no one's going to play PUBG anymore. There's literally no reason to play
There's
PUBG.
no reason. Blackout's gonna,
You're either in the the Fortnite camp or you're in the Blackout camp, or a mixture of both. But
Yeah.
I'm,
Another thing I didn't like. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, you go.
I was gonna say another thing I didn't like about Blackout was that, two things. Well, the map is like it's just like like they just have a one name. Like it's just like beach. Well, I guess it's Nuketown Island, but the other stuff is like I forgot the names for.
Well,
it,
they're
but,
they're map names from previous games. Or
I
some
thought they
of
were
them.
just like one
Oh,
name,
some of
like
them are.
farm,
Or maybe they aren't.
depot, like like
Well,
I
I mean-
like Fortnite's. It has like alliteration that
Yeah, it
makes
does.
it more fun.
But
Dusty
Fortnite is a
Beach.
game that very much so doesn't take itself as seriously as Call of Duty Blackout does. So like,
I like
I'm just
that.
looking at Tomato Town right now. Tomato
Yeah.
Town or something similar will never be. It just won't. It won't be in Call of Duty.
Of
It's
course.
not gonna happen.
Right.
Oh, yeah,
It's
obviously.
they're fundamentally they're completely different games. Other than that they have guns and you can shoot things, and their battle royale is the game
right.
mode. Everything about the games is completely different. Like
And that you drop from a. Don't you drop from like a?
Yeah,
Oh no,
you
you drop from a helicopter, like a pontoon plane.
yeah, you drop
go
from a
down.
helicopter. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the other big thing is probably the pacing too. If you want a little bit more quicker pace, I think Fortnite's probably the way to go too. Just based on my limited play of both games.
Right.
Like I'm coming in this, like Ryan, you're a hardcore Call of Duty fan, and Justin sounds like you're a Fortnite fan playing both games. You guys kind of go back towards your respective game, but I'm kind of in the middle, and I can see areas for both why people would like them, and I think I'll probably play a mixture of both probably.
And
Yeah.
one more thing I was gonna say was that it to me it aids having to not take itself so seriously, because when I was playing Blackout, the player models look so like their facial expressions are so funny when you're trying to kill them. Like it's just like they move around so like. So for me, it's like I laugh at that, and I'm like, this whole thing has a serious look to it. But when you look at the character faces, they look so ridiculous. That's why I like Fortnite, because it's so cartoony. It's like, oh, it is part of the joke. But again,
Right.
that's just me. That's just my take of it. Like I guess I'm a kid because I like Nintendo and stuff. I don't like the real video games of like Dark Souls and all that stuff because it just looks very muted in colors. But
Jay, you don't
that's
have an opinion one way or the other on this, do you?
just...
You're not a
All
Fortnite
about
boy.
LEGO Star Wars: The Complete Saga.
Yes,
Dude,
well,
I can't.
that's what the Boogaloo loves,
Yeah.
That's all
You could play Battlefront too. That's a Star Wars game you could play against other people. I've had people recommend that.
Yeah, I've played Battlefront 2 a little bit. I was more concerned with the story. Like, I'm more of a,
Okay.
I don't know. I prefer more story-based Star Wars games. So like, Knights of the Republic is my favorite game of all time. But yeah, Battlefront 2 is all right. I like the story. Obviously, liked enough to build a mock based off of it.
Yeah, of course.
There you go.
Well, there you go.
So
Interesting discussion. But the main thing, I want to hear what happened to you, Ryan.
yeah, I was very close to never playing Fortnite again. I'm gonna keep playing it until October 12th, which is when Call of Duty Blackout comes out, and then I'm deleting it. So
Cold turkey.
I am holding a grudge for this one. Well, I'm also mad at my cousins. So this is a deep story. We'll start. The date is Friday, September 14th. My cousin Corey, who many people know from my channel, he's over here. He's I don't know, we were building Lego or something, or I don't know. And I was like, I gotta run to the post office, but you can stay here since my brother's here, because I was just kind of keeping an eye on him because his aunt his mom wanted to go do something. Anyway, so I let him stay here while I ran to the post office to check my PO box, and he was like, "Can I play Fortnite while you're gone?" Because he's not allowed to play Fortnite at home. So I'm like, "Yeah, sure, you can play Fortnite. Just I'll set you up on my account. Here you go. You're good to go."
You're a bad older cousin.
Free
You
to
should've
play.
said no.
And so I'm like, I come back and he's like still playing, all good, all seems good. And then like the next day I get on, I'm on my account and I like my favorite emote, which is like my basketball like dribble through the legs like shoot the ball emote. It's gone.
Yeah.
I don't have it anymore. I'm like, where's my emote? And so I'm like, this is odd. Maybe it's like a glitch. Get back on. Next day, I'm like, it's still not there. And I'm like, this is getting a little fishy. Like, what the heck happened? And so I look up like how to like check if an item has been returned on your account. And I go and check like the returns area, I suppose. And turns out my cousin, who I don't know what compelled him to do this, but he went and returned 2 of my emotes. And so if you don't know, in Fortnite, you get 3 lifetime returns, and that's it. And so he used 2 of my lifetime returns on 2 of my items that I bought and paid for with my money. And like you get your V-Bucks back.
I don't even know how to return
but I
an
didn't
item.
want.
How the heck did he know how to?
Exactly. That's the thing that baffled me the most. You have to go way into the settings. It's like the farthest thing away from the home screen. I cannot.
Kids are really smart these days, man.
Just got trolled.
Well, yeah, he's been on. Yeah, but when he gets next time I see him, I probably won't yell at him, but it's not going to be pleasant. I'm just like I have to know what the heck he was thinking, because he went and just returned. I don't know why he just returned them. He didn't say anything to me when I got home that he had done this or that anything had happened. I'm like, dude, you're just supposed to play. Like, there's nothing else to it. You just play the game. That's all. I gave you the controller and said play. But no, he went and messed with my stuff. And so I'm like, all right, well, maybe it's not such a big deal. I can email up Epic. They'll see my situation, what's gone wrong here, and they'll help me out. They'll throw me a bone. I could not have been more mistaken. I am not going to show the emails because I'm not going to, but I will read some of the emails. So I send in a little request to them. I'm like, the other day I allowed my little cousin to play on my Fortnite account on PS4, blah, blah, blah. And turns out he returned some of my stuff. Like, can you guys just put it back? Can you like rewind my account 4 days? Everything's good. Like, easy peasy. I'm happy. No problems in the world. They couldn't do that. They send me like an automated thing, has nothing to do with what I asked about, and I have to reply like, I want a human to look at this, and then it's like, a human will reply to you soon. And so a human replies to me, and they're like, actually, where am I? I'm a little lost here. Okay, so I replied there. Human replies to me, and he's like, we have released the self-service cosmetic return feature, which allows you to manage your returns on cosmetic items. We also have closed your ticket because this self-service... So they closed my ticket without ever addressing my problem. And I'm like, bro, this is ridiculous. And so I reply back... Oh, no. Okay, so yeah, I reply back, and then they reply back again. They're like, thank you for contacting Epic Game Support. I see you have I see you're reporting an unauthorized activity made by a family member. Any cosmetic items that have been returned using the self-return tool may not be reversed. If you are interested in repurchasing the item, we recommend you keep an eye on the store as it updates each day. And so, like, if you don't know, Fortnite just has a store with like 4 items in it that change every day, and you never know it's going to be there.
Yeah.
And eventually, like, next email, where's the email? They basically said that It said, we would like to inform you that account selling, sharing, buying, and trading are direct violations of our EULA, which is End User License Agreement, and TOS, Terms of Service, and further infractions may result in action against your account. So they threatened an action against my account for sharing my controller with my cousin. So that part pissed me off. And then I went and read some of their TOS. If you didn't know, you do not own your Fortnite accounts in the TOS, so I may as well not have one because I don't own it. That's good to know though. And so I was just like, dude, this is a terrible company. I want nothing to do with this. And so I'm like, I reply back, and the guy just goes, as previously stated, we won't be able to proceed upon your request. We understand that you have paid for the in-game content. However, returns cannot be undone. Thank you for understanding. And you know what I replied to that? I don't understand. So that was the end of that.
If I was you, make a post about that on like the Fortnite subreddit or something, and then you could get people rallying behind you.
I mean, I could make a YouTube video about it, but I don't want to be that person. But at the end of the day, I got my justice. So you know what I did? So I bought a Fortnite shirt. I had bought a Fortnite shirt somewhat unironically because I like the game. I went ahead and returned that to Amazon. You know what Amazon did? They gave me my money back, and they didn't ask for the shirt back. They said I can keep the shirt. So you know what's going to happen October 12th? I'm going to burn that shirt when Call of Duty Blackout comes out. Mark my words.
Oh, man.
It's going to happen on the gaming channel. And then...
So Fortnite is a beautiful game. Very bad customer service.
Just a terrible... just a bad company, I would say. And then And then I had bought $25 of V-Bucks, and I'm like, well, I don't have the items I wanted anymore, so I may as well get my money back for this. And so I'm like, Epic's not going to refund me. I call Sony. I'm calling Sony. And so I call Sony. I'm like, yeah, someone went on my account while I wasn't, like, I let him play on my account, and then they used my card without me knowing. And so, like, I kind of made up a BS story, but I got a refund anyway, so I don't care. That's how mad I am at Epic, that I kind of went a little bit, stretched the truth there. I got a refund for my $25 of V-Bucks, so as far as I'm concerned, I've lost nothing, but I'm also still upset. So come October 12th, I will never play Fortnite again, and that was a very long story.
No, that was interesting. Can I play devil's advocate?
Yes.
All right. Well, they have their policy is something that they can't go back on, and they have a policy that you can't go back on returns. Isn't it your fault for not looking over your cousin, who's using your account?
I know you're playing devil's advocate, but
yeah,
no, that's
I
a
have
little
a theory that
far-fetched.
Justin may actually work for Epic Games.
I do not work for Epic Games. Anyways, today you could get double V-Bucks in the store. All you have to do
I
is
know
go on their
is LEGO Star Wars: The Complete Saga wouldn't do this to me.
Exactly.
You know what? Honestly, we should all just buy that game.
Dude, I really hope if they ever make it, I really hope LEGO comes out with like a multiplayer version of LEGO Star Wars. Dude, that would be the most incredible thing.
And I wonder if LEGO will ever release a new LEGO Star Wars game.
Yeah, I wonder.
Yeah.
Did the
Anyway.
Force Awakens game just not do well or something?
No, it did great. It actually did really good from what
I bought it. I played 4 levels the first day I got it. Haven't played it since. So.
That's me and LEGO Dimensions.
Yeah. Greg, you played LEGO Dimensions, right? You didn't like it?
I played very little of it. I got a little frustrated with it from the very beginning. I'm debating whether to go back. Speaking of LEGO games, though, I want to say that LEGO Worlds is on sale right now on the PlayStation Store.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if anyone's played that one or not.
I have not.
I've heard mixed things
I
about
couldn't
it.
get into it.
Okay.
Yeah, was not a fan. But then again, I don't really care for Minecraft, and it was like Minecraft.
I just got into Minecraft last night, and I was having a lot of fun. It's $11.99 right now. If anybody's interested, I don't know if it'll still be live when this goes out.
Right.
It's not bad to try something out.
Yeah,
that's true.
All right.
I wish it was free. Anyways, what else we got? Or do I just have to do the Just 2 rant?
I do want to talk about the burnout. I don't know if you guys kind of feel this, but I'm in a little burnout phase. And Cloud City came out. I was all excited to get it. I made my vlog and stuff. That should be up by the time, or it will be up by the time this comes out.
Ryan, I told you were asking me why you chilling down on videos and stuff. It hits all of us. There's a burnout.
There's part of me that really doesn't want to sit down for an hour to film a review, but yeah. I also had a very eye-opening experience today. I went and got my haircut, and like the haircut like there's people with a lot worse problems than we have with video burn. You know what I mean? So I really should get my act together and just film the review and make it the way, because I want to make it a special review.
Wait, no, what happened with the haircut? Wait,
yeah,
I don't know.
I thought you were going to go into
it's nothing crazy, but it's just like some people work a lot harder for what they have. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, yeah.
I mean, I appreciate all the fans and everything for their support.
Is it
does get frustrating.
Is it you're just burnt out on making the videos, or is it just this one's kind of overwhelming because of the scope of it?
It is. I think it's so overwhelming. It is so.
Okay.
Oh my god! It's so many minifigures. There's so many little compartments and sections to it. Like,
one thing I noticed was, Ryan, you do daily content every day. Didn't you not do a video? Like, didn't you miss a day?
Yeah, I didn't upload on Monday.
I was like, oh my gosh, is Ryan's channel dead or something?
How dare you? How dare you?
That's like when the Patriots lose a game. Is the dynasty over?
I
love it.
You're on that Lego grind. Everything's content. Sometimes you have 2 a day. I'm like, holy crud. So I was kind of shocked to see that.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just like, I don't have anything for today. I don't feel like doing anything today, so I didn't.
Take your time, man. We all need a little break.
I think it's time for a rant, though. I did my rant.
All right, well, here's my rant. Keeping up the theme of video games. Not a new game, but a new game is coming out. Luigi's Mansion 3 is coming out. And I wanted to take the time to rant about Luigi's Mansion 2 so that Nintendo could learn from their mistakes and not repeat them with Luigi's Mansion 3. So Luigi's Mansion 2 was a game released on the 3DS, I think in 2011 or 2012. Or was it 2013? I don't remember. It might have been 2013, actually, because it was spring. I remember Man of Steel was coming out. But it just did not capture the feel of the original Luigi's Mansion game. The original Luigi's Mansion game was one mansion, you know, because it is called Luigi's Mansion, and you had all these different interesting ghosts. And then with Luigi's Mansion 2, what you had was like 5 different mansions, and they were all just generic ghosts except for one boss battle. And the boss battles were just really lame because there was 5 bosses or so. Very uninspired, very uninteresting. And I'm worried because they just announced Luigi's Mansion 3, and it has a generic ghost of Luigi's Mansion 2, but it looks like it's one mansion like Luigi's Mansion 1. So I wonder, Nintendo, please, listen to the fans. We want Luigi's Mansion 1 again. As in, give us some portrait ghosts. That's what the ghosts from Luigi's Mansion 1 were called, that were unique and had character to them. Please, Nintendo, listen to us for once. You don't listen to us with Paper Mario. You don't listen to us with bringing back Kirby Air Ride, but please.
I don't think Nintendo's going to take the hint here either, Justin. I think your cries will fall upon deaf ears.
No, that's Nintendo for you. And speaking of Nintendo, this whole year they have not had much WoW games. Last year was amazing. We had the Switch, we had Mario Odyssey, we had freaking Breath of the Wild.
I just want Wii Sports 2.
Wii Sports 2? Oh,
Wii Sports is like a top 10 all-time game for me. That's the best.
Did you play Wii Sports Resort?
Yeah, I played it both.
Okay, I never played Wii Sports Resort, but I always consider that Wii Sports 2, so I don't know. But yeah, Smash Bros. Comes out later this year. But yeah, just a little minor rant. Just please, Luigi's Mansion 3, make Portrait Ghost or something like that, where you have like 50 of them, 30 of them, 40 of them. They all have unique character. Ditch the bosses, and that would be great. That would make it a fantastic game because you almost got it because it looks like you have the big mansion. One mansion's perfect. All right, so we'll see. We'll see though. We'll see if they listen.
Any final topics?
I think we're good. I actually think we're good.
Nothing anyone wants to pull out of nowhere? Nothing?
No.
All right. Jay, where can people find you?
You can find me on YouTube at RichboyJhae. That's
I mean physically, like if they need to track you down.
Obviously, the downtown.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, the FBI is on the way. Yeah, I'm on YouTube. RichboyJhae, Instagram RichboyJhae, and apparently Discord.
Apparently Discord.
Also, check out LEGO Star Wars Electric Boogaloo.
Oh no.
Yes.
This is a classic.
No.
I haven't been on there year.
Ryan's not had a great experience.
I get bullied on there sometimes. Sometimes.
You get bullied? Me too.
Yeah.
It's whatever. On that thing. But then you'll have people who defend me, and it's like,
oh god, here
those outweigh it.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to the podcast. Thank you, Justin.
No prob.
You're supposed to say, yo, what's up?
Yo, what's up?
Thank you, Greg.
Yo, what's up?
And thank you,
So
RichboyJhae. Link in the description for his channel. Goodbye,
What's
everybody.
up, yo?
All right, now sing "Cold Like Hoth." All right.
Oh, should I play that real quick? I'll play a little snippet for the people. You guys can't hear it, but it's playing. Everyone else can hear it.
Beautiful. Oh yeah, this is great. I can't.
This is great.
Incredible.
Brings warm feelings to my heart.
I think I'm crying.